besides being considered two geniuses of technology that have forever changed the world. Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates are two tycoons who know very well how to enjoy life by making use of their wealth. But the question is, which of the two lives the most luxurious life? In this video, you will watch a close battle between Bill Gates versus Mark Zuckerberg. So, let's go to the fight. Before we get started, I challenge you. You have to click on subscribe and activate notifications, check the option all. But you have to do that in less than 5 seconds. You got it? And if you can, write in the comments #allaboutSubscribe. Alright, let's get started. Round 1. Mansion. When it comes to investing in good homes to live in, the two billionaires do not like to save money. But which of the two will have the most luxurious residences? Mark Zuckerberg, for example, has a beautiful house in California where he lives quietly with his family. The residence is close to Facebook's office in Menlo Park, Silicon Valley, which guarantees better living and working conditions. In order to have more security and privacy, Zuckerberg owns other estates around his property, being such that it is estimated that he owns a total of 20,500 square feet of real estate in the area. The 5,400 square foot main house has a simple and cozy architecture, which ends up shocking many people, considering the size of the developer's wealth. The kitchen, for example, is in the Provençal style, with furniture in dark green colors that helps bring a feeling of sophistication. It is also integrated into the dining room, which is very well lit with natural light. In an interview with CBS this morning, Mark and his wife revealed a little more of the interior of the home, such as an intimate living room that features a fireplace and plenty of books on its shelves. On the house's exterior, there is a space with a fireplace where the businessman can relax, and a large green area for the children to play freely, as well as a large saltwater swimming pool. In all, they estimate that the developer's real estate investments in this region are worth about $51 million. Bill Gates, for his part, lives in his famous estate known as Xanadu 2.0. The billionaire's mansion is located in Medina, Washington state. And while there isn't as much information about the mansion, we do know that it is gigantic, being over 65,000 square feet and having taken over 7 years just to be completed. Being built out of wood, the highest quality trees were used, such as pine trees that were over 500 years old. But besides being a mansion with a strong presence of nature, because it belongs to the founder of Microsoft, naturally the property has a lot of technology, being completely automated with sensors that alternate lighting and temperature at any given place of the house. To get an idea, it is estimated that more than 100 electricians worked on its construction, so you can imagine just how technological it is inside, can't you? And, being a bookworm, Gates owns an incredible library that features the world's most exclusive books, an example being the manuscripts of Leonardo da Vinci's, something that cost nearly $31 million. And to build this amazing mansion, Bill Gates had to invest a real fortune. According to some sources, he spent about $63 million on it. However, according to estimates of the real estate market, the mansion's current value is at $127 million. And, for living in a more expensive mansion, Bill Gates takes this round. 1 point for him. Round 2. Cars. There's no doubt that the two billionaires have more than enough money to buy some nice cars, but one is left to wonder about who owns the most luxurious vehicles. Bill Gates, for example, has already been spotted getting into a Ford Focus, a simple car, but one that can meet the billionaire's transportation needs. The price of the vehicle revolves around $25,000. Raising the price, he once owned a 1979 Porsche 911. This vehicle of Bill Gates was auctioned off in 2012 for about $80,000. Bill also once owned a Ferrari 348, an older Ferrari model, but one that can still be found going for about $150,000. These days, he prefers less polluting cars, which is why he owns a Porsche Taycan, an all-electric vehicle that still manages to be a powerful sports car. To have an idea of its speed, it can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in unbelievable 3 seconds, and it's no wonder that the most recent and complete models can cost around $200,000. But the most expensive car Bill Gates ever owned was probably a Porsche 959 Sports, a car from 1980 that, at its launch, was considered one of best cars around. And because it is a rare and exclusive vehicle, its price can reach over $1 million. Mark Zuckerberg, in turn, has been seen several times in popular cars, such as a Honda Jazz, which goes to show that, on a daily basis he prefers to be more discreet, since a new model of this vehicle costs about $20,000. Another vehicle that the businessman has already been spotted in was an Acura TLX, a sedan that in its most complete version in the most recent models can cost over $40,000. But some sources on the internet say that Mark also has some more powerful cars in his collection. It is speculated that the owner of Facebook has a beautiful Pagani Huayra, a sportive model coveted by many vehicle enthusiasts. The sports car has a modern design with an impeccable finish, combined with a super powerful engine. And the price that one needs to invest in order to own this machine is something around $1,400,000. And because there can't be certain if Zuckerberg actually owns this car, we will consider this round tied. Both of them get a point. Round 3. Other real estate. The two tycoons own several properties around the world, but who invests the most in real estate? Mark Zuckerberg and his wife, for example, decided to purchase 2 side-by-side lakefront properties in Tahoe City, California. The plots, which total 25 acres, feature 2 mansions, named Carousel Estate and Brushwood Estate. The smallest of them, built in the 1930s, has a cleaner style, having a main house, a guest house and quarters for janitors, being a total of 12 bedrooms and 10 bathrooms. The building is very cozy, itself following the integrated concept. In its outdoor areas it is possible to enjoy a beautiful view of the lake, besides the pier for boat trips. The other property, built in the 1920s, is covered in darker wood in its exterior and has a more modern rustic design in its interior, with its main house having 8 comfortable bedrooms and 10 bathrooms. This mansion also features a game room, as well as a hot tub with relaxing views of Lake Tahoe. It is stipulated that Mark Zuckerberg spent more than $59 million on these 2 properties. In the U.S. state of Hawaii, consisting of an archipelago of volcanic islands in the Pacific, Zuckerberg and his wife own some unbelievable 750 acres in its northern coast. In this place of paradise-like beauty, the founder of Facebook has already posted photos on his social media showing the natural diversity of his land, promising to preserve and contribute to the fauna and flora of the region. And to acquire the 2 estates, he initially invested $100 million. Meanwhile, Bill Gates is not far behind. He once owned, for example, an almost 9,500 square foot mansion, which has a very sophisticated classical architecture. The property is located in the region of Hobe Sound, in the state of Florida, and is immersed in nature, being near a lake and surrounded by woods. And according to some sources, Bill Gates sold the house in 2018 for about $4 million. Moving up the price further, he also owns a huge 13,500 square foot home in Indian Wells, California. It is known that he acquired the property in 1999, paying about $12,500,000 for it. As early as 2013, he purchased a mansion in the luxury Mallet Hill Court condominium in Wellington, Florida. And he liked the place so much, he decided to buy another, even more luxurious, neighboring mansion in 2016. The mansion's interiors are very comfortable, having large rooms and spaces, besides having a beautiful outdoor area, something very common in country houses like these. And to acquire the 2 properties, Bill Gates paid more than $22 million. However, in 2020, the billionaire decided to invest in a spectacular beach house located north of San Diego in Del Mar, California. With contemporary architecture, this seaside masterpiece was designed by super-renowned architects, and it's no wonder that the house is considered one of the most beautiful in the city. The property's interior is 5,800 square feet and is divided into 6 luxurious bedrooms. And, like every beach mansion, there is an outdoor area with lots of armchairs and a beautiful sea view, definitely the perfect place to throw parties. And according to media reports, in order to acquire this property, Bill Gates had to cash out no less than $43 million. And all of this real estate of Bill Gates are just what's reported, as he is speculated to be one of the largest farmland investors in the United States. And that's why he takes this round. He scores a point. Round 4. Jets. Being considered two of the richest men in the world, of course they use good aircraft to get around, but which one has the most luxurious jet? Bill Gates, for example, owns a Bombardier BD-700 Global Express, a large, sophisticated, high-performance aircraft with intercontinental range, meaning it's capable of traveling to different continents without the need to stop for fuel. The interior of the aircraft can house up to 18 people in a super comfortable and luxurious way, and can be compared to a 5-star hotel, but in the skies. And for those who want to have the same jet, you must get ready to invest a real fortune. It is estimated that this incredible aircraft costs about $40 million. However, although Mark Zuckerberg is pretty reserved about his luxuries, it came out in the media that a young man discovered which plane is used by the entrepreneur. It is speculated that the Facebook owner's aircraft is the Gulfstream G650ER model, one of the most modern, fast and with the longest flying range aircraft available in the market in this segment. The plane's interior has a luxurious finish, being able to carry up to 18 people with great ergonomics. And to own a jet as luxurious and modern as that, you may need to invest more than $50 million. And because Zuckerberg's jet is more expensive, he takes this round. A point to him. Round 5. Donations. Besides making a lot of money, the two entrepreneurs are also big philanthropists, but just who has made the biggest donations? Mark Zuckerberg, for example, has already drawn plenty of attention when he donated nearly $100 million to Newark Public Schools, the system that runs the public schools in the city of Newark, New Jersey. As early as 2020, he and his wife donated $300 million to help with the U.S. elections by recruiting more election officials and providing more COVID protection resources during voting. But arguably the most impactful philanthropic promise made by Mark Zuckerberg was announced in December 2015. At the time, the entrepreneur had just become a father and made headlines around the world for announcing that he would donate 99% of the value of Facebook shares over his lifetime to charitable causes. That is, if the market value of the social media at that time is taken into account, it is estimated that the amount donated would be $45 billion. This action accompanied the creation of the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative, an organization that has already moved millions of dollars with investments in research, education, justice, and opportunities. Bill Gates, meanwhile, is one of the world's greatest philanthropists. And that's why he and his ex-wife founded the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, a nonprofit organization that fights poverty, illnesses, and inequality around the world. To give you an idea of how relevant this foundation is, it is estimated that adding up all the donations already made, it exceeds the figure of $70 billion. And the amount being donated will only continue to grow, as several other billionaires have engaged in the cause by pledging to donate a large part of their net worth, such as his friend Warren Buffett. And Bill Gates has already said in interviews that he intends to donate most of his wealth when he dies, leaving a paltry sum of $10 million to each son as inheritance, a very small percentage next to his entire patrimony. And for making the biggest donations to date, Bill Gates wins this round. A point to him. Round 6. Net worth. The two tech geniuses have already achieved a net worth so big that they can basically buy anything they ever want without needing to worry about costs. But who has the biggest wealth these days? Mark Zuckerberg, for example, is a young prodigy, being the current CEO of Meta, which owns brands like Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. Besides controlling the largest social networks in the world, Mark Zuckerberg has already tried to get himself a monopoly on the internet, with him having made a bid to buy Twitter in 2008 for $500 million, and another attempt was the proposed purchase of Snapchat in 2012, offering $3 billion to its CEO, Evan Spiegel, who was 23 years old at the time. However, the two deals did not go through. The legacy Zuckerberg has built is so fascinating that it has served as inspiration for the movie, The Social Network. And although their companies have been going through a rough patch on the stock market, their market value has now surpassed $1 trillion. And just as share values vary, Zuckerberg's net worth also follows suit. He once had an estimated net worth of over of over $130 billion, but that has currently dropped to just over $60 billion. Bill Gates, on the other hand, has managed to create an even bigger empire. He founded Microsoft, one of the most valuable companies in the world, with a market value of approximately $2,500 billion. An amount so large that it is greater than the GDP of several countries and even major economies such as Spain, Australia, South Korea, Russia, Canada, Brazil, and Italy. This shows how powerful and relevant Bill Gates is in the world, as he managed to found a company with greater financial potential than great powers of the world. But that doesn't mean that's his personal wealth. That's because he only owns 1.3% of the company's shares, which represents something around $30 billion, just a fraction of his entire net worth. These days, most of his money is allocated in companies other than the one he founded. And according to Forbes magazine, currently his assets are estimated at over $100 billion, an amount that still manages to be greater than the GDP of some smaller countries like Ecuador, Angola, and Cuba, besides placing him in the 5th position for the richest person on the planet. And for currently having a larger fortune, the founder of Microsoft wins this round. He scores another point. At the end of this battle, we have 2 points for Mark Zuckerberg against 5 points for Bill Gates, making him the winner of this battle. But if you believe that there are still other arguments to defend one of the two, make sure to write down below your best justification. Hey, you like the video? So don't forget about leave your like and comment, and tell some suggestions of another videos, and hopefully we gonna do it. All about channel, deals to satisfy your curiosity.